Hi, everyone. Welcome to Grazidi Interactive's first event of the year and the second edition of our marketing conference, Marketing Refocus 2022. A conference where savvy marketers like you will talk about all things marketing in a hybrid world. My name is Akanksha Das. I lead the content marketing team at Grazidi, and I will be your host today. And this year, I have a co-host as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Monali Gupta, our senior marketing specialist, to this virtual stage. Hi, Monali. So glad to have you here.
Thank you, Akanksha.
Great. Well, over the last year and a half, we've seen many businesses set out on an evolution to a hybrid working style. This reimagining of the traditional workplace ecosystem is changing, not just the way people work, but also how they communicate. And as we all know, the marketing industry is continuously changing and it waits for no one. Last year, we were talking about adjusting, adapting, and swiftly navigating through the virtual landscape. And just as we mastered that and got comfortable, the next wave of marketing came knocking on our doors, the hybrid world. Don't you agree, Monali?
Oh, yes, Akanksha. And as you rightly said, that's just how marketing is constantly changing, constantly evolving. And with hybridization, what makes sense and still does is to morph all forms of marketing into one. Hybrid marketing as a whole involves combining two or more marketing methods to create a unified concept that a hybrid marketer in this age basically needs to be a jack of all trades, isn't it, Akanksha?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. So, with so much change, new things to master, and the need to constantly and consistently innovate, the strongest trait of a hybrid marketer is to be adaptable. They must be willing to and be prepared to pick up new skills and always keep an eye out for what's coming next. And after the massive shift that we saw until last year, we've entered a new marketing hybrid world. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next few hours, refocusing the marketing lens in a hybrid world. And I'd like to thank you all for taking out the time and being with us here today. We have a power-packed agenda in store for you for the next few hours.
I'd just like to tell you a few things before we begin. All attendees will be in listen mode only. If you'd have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box in the window on the right of the main screen. We'll bring them up towards the end of the discussion. In the unlikely event of a network issue, if we get disconnected or hit a technical snag, please be patient. We'll be back in less than a minute.
Thank you, Monali. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to let you know that we have exciting keynotes, panel discussions, Q&As, and many networking opportunities lined up for you today, starting with a welcome note by our CEO, Alok Ramsasaria. He has over 25 years of marketing, building, and consulting experience for the largest online marketing companies and the most complex software products. He's a chief participant at Grazidi and provides mentoring and marketing momentum to Team Grazidi. So here's our captain speaking on Marketing 2.0, standing out in an innovation-first world. Over to you, sir.
Morning, folks. Thank you, Akanksha and Monali. Great to be here and great to be in the august company of great friends and mentors, thought leaders from across the globe. It is my particular privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the second edition of Marketing Refocus and our first conference of 2022. We have, I'm very happy to report, over 1,000 people registered for the event, which is in itself a landmark. I'm also amazed at this amazing group of thought leaders and marketing minds from across the globe. Particularly, I'd like to welcome dear friend and customer Maria Pergolino, thought leader in marketing across. I would say I've had the privilege of working with across over a decade. Friend, mentor, and advisor David Edelman, former CMO at Aetna and founder of the McKinsey digital practice, also on our advisory board. Teresa, Tony, Allison, Lauren, Jessica, dear friend Corey, and customers and friends who have planning to share with us their insights and how they are going to navigate their organizations in this post-pandemic hybrid world. When things change, we go and look back and look at thought leaders. And when you think about strategy and marketing, Peter Drucker always comes to mind, and he's said this in so many simple words that there are only two functions of an enterprise: marketing and innovation. And sometimes one and both of them intertwine. And in this hybrid world, I think we need to all look at innovation in marketing and marketing innovations driving the new enterprise. Marketing innovation or innovation in marketing is both a delicate art and science. Art, because you need to find the right way of using our existing resources. I was reading this interesting article on marketing profs about the issue is not technology, the issue is always talent. We have now probably arguably the best marketing technology tools that have ever been. However, having the right set of people and the culture for those people to perform is now the issue. The science, marketing is now a closed loop system. If marketeers are not analysts, they will fail in their job. It's no longer the cigar smoking, chomping, working through the midnight oil ad agency that makes the cut. It's the outcome driven marketeer who is able to switch channels, switch messaging, and A/B test each and everything in his repertoire of tools, who can make things happen in a real-time hybrid world. So what has changed? 2019 was, and pre-COVID, the biggest spend in marketing we used to do was events. Heck, we used to organize, sponsor over 20 events in a year. For a company based out of India, that was fairly huge. And as different research organizations have pointed out, 33% event organizations would be doing 2 to 5 events. 40% were actually looking to increase their event budgets, and they were planning to host even more events. Cut to 2022, most of us have held a virtual event last year. And 28% say that we are going to continue holding most of their events in the virtual mode. Even going forward, as the scare of Corona lifts from most of the world, and hopefully this tragedy in Ukraine comes to an end, most of B2B marketers are still planning to reallocate budgets, or rather allocate larger parts of their budgets to webinars, virtual summits. And most of us expect that events will continue to be hybrid. In fact, just last few days ago, I would say, we were sponsors at one of the largest events held by Adobe with a remarkable, I would say, participation. And for us, I would say really amazing results. Let me just stop for a moment and share some insights from our own marketing events, right? So during the pandemic, as I mentioned earlier, most marketers have held a virtual, and same applies to Graziti. We hosted our first ever virtual conference, Community Refocus, back in 2020, and our first only customer conference, Support Refocus, and the first virtual marketing conference last year. As the world became hybrid, as things started opening up in 21, we probably sponsored 6 hybrid conferences in 2021, and planning to execute our current set of events in a hybrid mode. This one is purely virtual, but going forward for our other 2 events, we are thinking hybrid. And I say this, I think, for all of us, we are all trying to adjust to this hybrid world. In fact, a lot of the research that has interviewed marketeers in their use of channels seems to suggest that their marketing mix is drastically changed. If you look at whether it is digital engagement strategy, workplace, workflows and processes, organizational priorities, channel mix, as you can see from the bar graphs on the right, it's completely changed and somewhat changed, adding up to 90% in most of these areas. So we need to all change, and last 2 years have compressed so much change. And now that we are decompressing from the COVID lockdowns, we still need to change, which is why innovation in marketing in this hybrid world is key. I thought I would focus today only on one aspect of this hybrid engagement strategy, which is hybrid events. As I mentioned earlier, this particular, most people were looking, and I think we've gone through this. As of this moment, most of us are looking to do more virtual. Some of us, again, 63% are saying they'll do hybrid. As I mentioned earlier, what we did earlier and what we are doing now is something that we choose every quarter, looking at the situation. In last October, we had started attending physical events again, sponsoring physical events again. And come December and January, we were back to looking at pure virtual. So we will need to make decisions on the fly. And I'm hoping that marketeers will keep that in their back pocket as they look forward at events in this hybrid world. So what are we going to do this year? We are sponsoring about 20 events through the year. It's a mix of physical, virtual, and hybrid. Our 3 conferences, this particular one, Marketing Refocus, is virtual. Community Refocus and Support Refocus, we expect to be hybrid. If something happens, we are prepared to take them virtual. But at this moment, we think that in the second half of the year, most events will start moving toward hybrid models. So why hybrid? As you can see from the research, most executives know that you can do better at personalization when you are going in a pure digital mode. The fact is that the physical is key. I cannot tell you the joy I feel when I walk into the office every day nowadays. We are almost 100% all back to office. It's a delight to see faces all around and feel that wave of happiness of just seeing fellow human beings working together. That connectedness and that joy of physical proximity, that is key for us to make sure that work is enjoyable, can only happen in person. Yet, we do understand some of the joys of not having to do long commutes or having to take time off to take care of personal priorities, which the work from home allowed us seamlessly, does have a lot of value. So we need to include all of our members. Hence, creating exceptional hybrid experiences which leverage the personalization of the digital and the physical proximity of the physical will be key to making sure that events deliver. We no longer, I think, will go back to the pure physical model just because we will exclude those who choose to work from home. So looking back at that slide again, of how we think has changed. It's high time we changed how we look at events. Marketing is a reflection of what people want, and if people want something else, we better deliver that. As I mentioned, both models have their benefits in terms of physical and virtual. So hybrid model executed well will bring the best of these worlds together. I am hoping to experiment this year to see how we can deliver exceptional hybrid experiences, and we expect to share those learnings. The fact that virtual, today we have over 1,000 attendees, is testimony to the fact that the virtual does command a large part of attention. What do you need to win at this hybrid marketing world? Clearly, experiences need to be seamless. Data needs to be collected at every touch point, and content needs to be tweaked for each platform. Leadless, we need to have consistent branding across both physical and virtual experiences to make sure that people can experience your brand in a consistent manner across all of these touch points. With that, I welcome you all once again. Thank you so much for choosing to be part and sparing your time to join us today. I look forward to learning from this extensive lineup of speakers we have today. Look forward to talking to you also in the hallways. Thank you. Back to you, Akanksha.
Thank you so much for that amazing kickoff, sir. I'd say we're off to a great start. And I'd like to tell everybody that our subject matter experts are available in the lounge area and the booth. So please feel free to catch up with them for more information about our services and products. Now let's get back to the main lounge and join in the next keynote session titled Driving Marketing Breakthroughs with Next Gen Analytics. See you there.